What's up, Neil?
Hi, Cal. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing wonderful. Thank you.
What a great song, huh?
Really, I wouldn't say like top 20, but maybe top 30.
Yeah, for you?
Yeah, wonderful.
You know, this is obviously Pixies. I always want to say the Pixies, but technically it's just Pixies, I've learned. But I was more of a casual fan. And the reason I was playing that is I actually just went and saw them a few days ago at the Michigan Lottery Amphitheater, which I had never been to. It was Modest Mouse opened for Pixies. Never seen either one of them. Absolutely great show. I did miss Cat Power, which I heard actually put on a really good first set as well. But yeah, you know, as I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, I know this song, or I know that song, you know. And then this was one of those ones. I'm like, man, I love this song. This was second to last they played, and then they finished with Neil Young cover.
Oh, that was the
that's what they closed
or
with.
the finisher or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that was sweet. And at first, I'm like, man, I love this song. I know this one. And then, like, I was looking at the set list. I'm like, holy shit, that was Neil Young.
Well, and then you had mentioned earlier when we were talking, prepping for the show, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
But
hardcore show prep.
But you had heard some things, you know, talking to people and, you know, tailgating or whatever and saying, man, I didn't know that the Pixies were this or the Modest Mouse was that. You're like, but Modest Mouse has been around for ever.
20 plus years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we all recognize Modest Mouse if you're just a casual radio listener was Float On and those songs that came on that album, but they've been out forever.
I know. And I tell you what a great live performance. Just really, really good.
Really?
I don't even know the lead singer's name, know nothing about him, to be honest.
Yeah.
But great voice.
Yeah.
Like, super high energy in the show. Pulled out a banjo at one point. But some really cool songs. My only gripe is I did not hear Lampshades on Fire, which I love. Obviously, it's one of the first songs I ever heard by them. I know I'm late to the game,
Right.
But you know, which is always disappointing when you don't hear the one. You wish you did or whatever, but it didn't take anything away. They were awesome, but
Right, and that's a band that now you can go back and listen to. And
you know, I can't
platform
wait to actually the next time they come around. I'll see them for sure.
I want to go
100%. Absolutely.
I couldn't make that show.
Yeah,
I got a little under the weather. I think it was food poisoning.
yeah, probably.
Yeah,
more than likely.
or alcohol poisoning. We don't know.
Some sort of poisoning. We're pretty sure it wasn't lead or mercury. Narrowed it down to those two of food or alcohol.
What was that lake that had the lake something where you get if you went in that lake? I don't know. There's like a video or a thing like. Not anyway, somebody knows.
Maybe one of our tens of listeners, maybe even the person from Chad might be able to answer this one for us.
Chad.
Still waiting to confirm if his actual name is Chad. From
Yes,
Chad,
yes, we did. We do need to know that.
Yes. So anyway, we are in. This is episode 14. I noticed we don't have any guests for this episode. Season 2, episode 14. No guests. We figured. We haven't done one by ourselves since our New Year's special, kind of to kick off season 2, and just kind of a mid-season review, we're calling it.
And I almost think that our maybe first episode was just us two.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
The very first one we ever did in season 1 was us, and actually, we'll get into some of those stats. But before we do, one thing we've been trying to, drum up or interest is the whole killer tune aspect of our name, right? We're obviously got the two dudes covered, but the killer tune side, especially when we talk about live music, although this won't be live, but on your drive in, obviously Neil's about an hour away from the studios, and with this goddamn construction, that can be pushing hour and a half, 2 hours on any given day. So what'd you hear on the way in? Any songs that you're like, got to turn this shit up right away, or what?
Yeah, and this is a band that I'm sure our listeners know, and I know you know the band. It's called a band called Shinedown, right?
Okay. Yep. Really don't know shit about them. I do know the name.
I
couldn't even tell you what they're known to sing, but I guarantee I know it.
And I do know that I have friends across platforms and whatnot that have seen Shinedown in concert. But it was a song just called "A System of Being Human," and it's just a really, really good song. And I would have never thought of, I don't know, Shinedown,
right?
You know, and just a really good song. And I don't know if Shinedown is.
What was it about it? Like, are you a lyric person, or?
Actually, it is. It's funny. The lyrics are kind of weird and strange and great, you know, at the same time. So yeah.
Right.
But yeah, melody's good and lyrics are great. So
that's awesome. What else you hear? We'll have to check that out. We'll make sure we get that on our playlist for sure.
Yeah, it's a fun song. And of course, I did hear Another One Bites the Dust.
Nice.
That was one of our songs
which is perfect because you're wearing your Lions gear.
Mm-hmm. Go
Lions. For a lot of our younger followers may not remember, but back in the day, in like the early 80s, the Lions like theme for the season was Another One Bites the Dust, which
probably
don't know if that was true or not.
Yeah.
Unless they were talking about themselves.
I think when Billy Sims.
Yeah. But you could get in the paper like an iron-on came in the paper, and you could actually like iron it on a white T-shirt, any color T-shirt, but it usually was like an old white one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it said Another One Bites the Dust and had the lion. So that's awesome that you wore your gear and heard that one.
Yeah, and also this shirt, I bought this shirt probably in 2004, 2005, and back when we're all Lions fans, right? I mean, and of course they finally did really, really well last year, and hoping to this upcoming season will do the same, but
hopefully build on that for sure.
But I probably wore it like 4 or 5 times, and I'm like, oh my gosh, let's go Lions.
That season was pretty damn electric last year.
Oh, amazing!
And remember when Lions? I forget who they even beat to go to the NFC Championship game.
Buccaneers, I think.
Was it Tampa? That's what
they won. Rams, Buccaneers, and then Niners.
Okay, and we went straight from that game from home base, Paul's house, and went downtown to St. Andrews to catch Big Head Todd and the Monsters.
That's right.
It was an effing great day.
That was sweet. Yeah, we
that was like almost like being in college again. You know, like you watch the game or whatever the day, you're all jazzed up and you still got shit to do. Now I can't do more than like one thing a day.
Right.
Oh no!
Hold on, I have to take a nap.
The grocery store and something. No.
But yeah, those are the songs I heard. I mean, there were many others, but the system.
I got Queen all over my playlist. I've definitely grown more of an affinity towards Queen over the years. You know, appreciate them more and more. A lot more than I ever did back in the day.
For sure.
Which is always a sign of I think, a good band, right?
Right.
You know, or you're getting the new fans and still people are digging in and, you know, some of the deeper cuts and stuff like that. What do you think about them touring with Adam Lambert or whatever, Queen?
Well, from what I've seen, the dude obviously has a great voice. I don't know if it's Freddie Mercury-esque, but it's a voice that
I think it's kind of cool.
But yeah.
You know, I kind of do, because one, obviously, seems like the Queen guys have embraced it. You know, you're still seeing Brian May tear it up out there, you know, so it's kind of cool. I mean, like when we saw, you know, the Doors with Ian Astbury or whatever. It's nostalgic. You know, if they do it right, I think it can be pretty cool. And it seems like people really enjoy the Queen stuff. And you know what? And it's got, you know, a lot of the Adam Lambert supporters, you know, kind of now interested in all this stuff. And just how it kind of grows and morphs and everything else. It's kind of cool.
Kind of like that one girl, I forget her name, but she did that Fleetwood Mac cover 3 or 4 years ago and got a gazillion followers. And then everybody, all of a sudden, I forget. It was on the Rumors album.
Was it Taylor Swift that you're thinking of? Was she the one that did the cover? No.
No. I'm looking around for Swifties. Where are they at? But I mean, but then eventually that song was like number one on like downloaded from younger generation that said, "Oh my gosh, I never even heard of Fleetwood Mac."
Right.
Well, you should.
Funniest thing is Kennedy. My daughter, like, she knows more about all these bands and shit that I know nothing about. And, I mean, it's crazy. Like, that she'll dig in and just learn as much and listen. And I'm like, wow. I mean, I love music, but I've never gotten that immersed into it.
Well, kind of like the start of our podcast and everything. I mean, we were putting a mixtape,
right.
Now anybody can go to YouTube and then dig and dig and dig, and it's like, oh my gosh, and then you find covers, and then you're like, oh my gosh, this probably sounds better than the actual.
The deepest B-sides ever from like the obscure album that that's why the Forever 5, that's the one reason I love music where it's at. We talk about our Forever 5 all the time, and we made that more of a staple in season 2 as well. Shout out to Ryan Maxey. He was the one that brought it to us in season 1.
That was pretty cool.
I'd love to have him back on too. It's always great seeing him.
Yeah, it had to be a guest and just to hang out.
That was cool because that's a good segue into one of the topics I wanted to talk about. I mean, the best part about this is just everyone that we reconnect with, or even if it's new people that we're meeting. Like on our tailgates when you meet people, and I mean, it's the beauty. It's like we encompass the whole event of like outside. Like that's when you first start kind of meeting your tribe. The people that show up, they're all there for the same reason, and so you're getting jazzed up. Then you get in there and see 15,000 people all there for the same reason. And it's, to me, that is always the thing. It's just the crowd, the experience. It's all works together. And if the band's off, the crowd feels it, and vice versa.
Right.
It's all got to work. And you know what? For me anyway, 99% of the time it does.
Right.
And that's to me, it's just a testament of the power of music, especially live music.
And I know we're probably going to talk about in a couple seconds, but like road trips and stuff. Like what doesn't suck, but I wish I was a millionaire.
No shit.
So I could go travel to, say, Missouri or Indiana or Colorado, and because we have fantastic venues here in Michigan, we get it. But I would love to see a band play in Oklahoma. I mean, I'm sure,
like I'm sure some little theater in their little downtown.
Like,
it's like absolutely.
Because we always talk about, that was an awesome venue. I love this venue. I love going here. I'm like, I bet you there's, comparable, and
and one of our friends, Hannigan, so he's in Chicago, so he catches all his stuff either the day before or the day after us, but that's like his thing. He's trying to hit like every venue, like, not everyone, but obviously all the main ones and all the theaters and everything in the Chicago area. And, because even in Detroit, this made me think like so many that I hadn't been to. Never been to Michigan Lottery or Freedom Hill.
Exactly.
Never had been to either one of the Masonics. Now I've been to both of those, and it's like, wow, how did I not ever end up at one of these places? All the shows I've been to.
It's crazy.
It is. It's nuts. Well, I forgot to mention my buzz today is going to be brought to you by Sheboygan Brewing, Blackberry Blonde Ale. Love it. They also have a Blood Orange Honey that I like. And a couple others that I had, but somehow they just disappeared. So hopefully we'll try those another day.
Let me try that.
Yeah,
I'm almost like the official taste tester of
Absolutely.
the two dudes, so let's see. Smells
if
great.
we both drop dead, it's the Sheboygan, but I can guarantee you one thing. You ain't gonna drop dead drinking this baby. Anyway, also we got some Voodoo Ranger
Delicious.
And an assortment of Bells. It's hard to just stray from Bells. It's like one of my favorites. Always has been.
I love the Voodoo Rangers.
Voodoo Rangers are good, and you know what? Well, we had the grad party, right? I am finally, all three of my kids have gone all the way through high school. We've done the 3 overall graduation parties. I thought it went great. But when we got the beer, it was a 24 Voodoo Ranger, these 3 kinds: Tropic Force, Peach Force, and Juice Force. Which are all just like fruity or hazy IPAs, which are great in my opinion. And then there was a Bell's 4-pack that had the big-hearted, hazy-hearted lager for the lakes, which it's not my favorite, but you know what? People in Michigan probably love it.
Probably going to taste that later. We'll see.
And the other one, though, they actually had a lemonade shandy. Bell's. Kind of like a Leinenkugel, summer shandy or whatever. But it was pretty good. Good enough that there wasn't any of those left when I was scouring the fridge this morning in preparation for today. Excuse me. So, man, it's kind of a little weird but fun when it's just me and you,
I like it.
I was looking back and, because I want to get some of the updates for what's been going on, and just looking back even on season one. Like season one, we had a total of 19 episodes, but 17, 18, and 19 was just me because we had the Alabama contingent come in, and then I did Dave, the old man, which we'll get back on when both of us are here. Mm-hmm. We got to hash out that Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young show. He still says he didn't get us thrown out, but I don't know. That old bastard. Like, dude, you're 60. What is he, like 64?
Yeah. Yeah, that old guy. Oh, he's like 3 years older than you.
Right? It's like me calling someone fat. Right, I mean, come on. At least I can admit it.
Right.
So, but no, like back in season one, we had 19, really 16.
Right.
And I want to say like 5 of them were just me and you,
Yeah.
When we got into it, we didn't really understand, like trying to book people and having an actual schedule a little more set in stone. And we had some cancellations, shit happens, whatever. But this season, it's been like, we do usually 2 episodes. We record on a Saturday once a month. And it's like, we could probably do like 3 or 4 a month, because there's so many people we got lined up. And like I said, I just wanted to do a quick review. It's a lot of progress.
Right.
More people want to be on. We're kind of branching out a little more. We have released 13 so far this season, which is crazy to me. This will be the 14th one.
I can't even believe it.
I know. It's like, and, we did the first tailgate episode at Sasanta, which we're going to get into a little deeper here in a little bit. But I love doing those. Those are just so much fun. I take breaks in between. You're bullshitting with people.
I love that when you mentioned it first time, because we did pumpkins last year, right? That was our,
yep.
And we've only done 2, yeah?
Yeah, 2 so far, yep.
But I was like, man, I thought about it. Of course, you're like, what do you think about it? And I'm like, all right, let me process this for a second. And then I thought about it. And I gave you like 5 minutes. And I thought about it. And I was like, oh my gosh. All right, cool. I think it'll be very cool. Get our brand out. And also, you know what? Just come up. When everybody walks by, they're like, what are you guys doing? We're just hanging out. We want to talk about music,
Absolutely.
Probably the reason you're here right now.
100%.
You probably want to talk about music.
Everyone's there for the same reason.
So,
it's a perfect time to get them.
And it was awesome. Pumpkins was awesome, and then Sasanta was
Well, it's funny you say that, because I was looking, again, review, so I was checking out some of our stats. So as far as like our streaming downloads, Spotify, Apple Music, and others, the number 1 episode download ever is episode number 1, just me and you, the very first season 1 episode. Number 2, season 1, Sweet Pickles.
Way to go, Pick.
I want to say only a few downloads behind is season 1, episode 2, very first guest, John Doring.
Johnny.
And then, but number 4 is the Pumpkins Tailgate.
Cool.
Which is good to see, because, to be honest, the Sasanta Tailgate hasn't really done great, just average, like a lot of other ones. But the Pumpkins one's done really well, so that tells me that there is interest in it, and no matter what, it's fun. So we're going to... We are going to get going on a couple more of those. We'll hit on that here real quick in a second. But, I mean... To me, that's kind of almost like the natural progression of this show, is getting to the shows ahead of time in that. And what I would like to do at some point is whether it's just like a one-day festival or something and just kind of go and hang out all day, whether you're not even going to the show or whatever, you know what I mean? But just hang out and do like a day or two or you know, go inside where it's me and you and maybe we're talking to people. Because you have so many conversations inside the walls of the venue. You know, that like that's the fun part for me of like going alone is like you just talk to people. Yeah. You know, and I always preface it with, I can talk forever, so tell me to shut up if you want me to, you know. But usually I can pick out the ones that, you know, are pretty receptive. But, you know, it'd be cool to go in and just kind of do like on the spot, you know, almost like guerrilla, you know, Hunter Thompson type, you know. Just getting people say, hey, what's going on? Why are you here? You know, what do you want to see? Or, you know. Because those festivals are nuts.
That'll be the
that's what
evolution
I see,
of
our,
absolutely. Yeah, no, hey.
You know. And then, you know, someone wants to fly us out to Coachella and set us up. We'll take care of it. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
We'll bring Moose. He loves Coachella.
Absolutely. That's funny. Totally forgot he went to that. I mean, obviously I've talked to him about it probably more than once. But so the other thing that we've done in season 2 is we incorporated the playlists. So we create a playlist from every episode.
If you're not listening to the gosh darn playlist, I mean...
you know,
might be a loser.
And the thing is, can people even go in, see them? Are they downloading them? Do people like them? I don't even know. And you know what? Don't really care. If one person's like listening to them or whatever, but for me, it goes back to like, that's part of my prep for the going to a show.
Right.
Like, you know, I'm a little older now, got my large coffee, because no matter what show I'm going to, it's at least an hour drive. For my local shows,
right?
But you know, get there, I just put my big playlist on random, and whatever plays, and I just listen to it. So I started doing that just on the way to the shows, but then I'm following the rules. On the way there, I can't have a band on more than once. So now I'm going through it, and I'll hear 2 or 3 by the same band. But I listen to them. They're not on the playlist because I got to follow the rules. Yeah. Well, the last couple, I've done it on the way there and back. So on the way back, if I hear that band from on the way there, it's like side 2. So I'm allowed to have 2. So when you see 2 on there, that's the reason. Which is funny because I don't even know if I mentioned this. I remember I wanted to previously, but there was some guy on like Facebook months ago, and he's like, "Hey, I was making a playlist, and I just wanted to make sure, you know, what the rules were." You know?
I love it. Yeah.
You know, he's like, "Can I put, you know, like, can I put Neil Young and then Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young or something?" I'm like, you know, it's a gray area, but I think you can. You know, it's 2 different people, even if the same guy's singing.
I love it. You're the stickler of your own rules, right?
And it was like, looking back, that was pretty much the only rule. Right? That was the only rule we had.
The other rule was...
Well, then we had to agree, you know, there was like...
Well, yeah.
You know.
Well, it's pretty cool, because, I mean, I threw some songs on there like, I never heard that, you know, like, and they're like, oh my God, this is a, you know, and I'm like, I've never heard that.
There was some, we would actually play it, and I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. You know? Or there was some, like, you're like, or me, I'm like, no, this is going on. Like, you had a couple that, you know, like, this is non-negotiable. This, like, for me, it was probably Chair Rock at that point in time, you know.
Hell yeah. And I've said this before, but Toadies, Possum Kingdom, you know, like, that got on Two Dudes Part 2, and I'm like, oh my God. It's a great song. Cal's probably, well, whatever. But then it's a great song.
Absolutely.
And to the Toadies fans, yeah, I'm sure they have other songs that are good, but I only know that song.
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. I will never, you know, when people, I hate when people get all fired up about music. Oh, to even like them, name 3 songs. Yeah, I can't. I like that one, and it fucking rocks, dude.
You're way better at that than me. I couldn't even probably name you 5 Nirvana songs right now. You know,
dude,
I know all of them, but I'm
horrible with names. Some I would probably name to off Unplugged that are covers.
Yeah. Right.
Man Who Sold the World.
Yeah.
That was them.
Yeah,
I swear I saw it. Cover? What?
Cover.
Everyone loves that album so much. I want to say there's like 6 covers on it, which is cool. I love covers.
Right. I just freaking heard the original. Was it a
Bowie?
Is he start? Yeah, start. Or is he start? Or
Ziggy Stardust.
Ziggy
when he does
Stardust,
it. I'm not sure if that's that phase, but yeah, I love Bowie. You know, fuck, he's one of those ones. Sad to see him go. You know.
Well,
Prince is another one.
The original is way better than
Cobain. No, I mean I love the Nirvana Unplugged. I do like the covers, and I do like that for some of it, it exposed people to now these bands that they never heard of.
Yeah,
this is where the music came, not to David Bowie, but the some of the other
right.
I think there's a Pavement or something on there. Speaking of those unplugs, do you remember those? Those were so good.
Mm-hmm. So
many good ones. Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains. I love the LL Cool J one. I think Roots were behind him. 10,000 Maniacs, I remember that one being really sweet.
Yeah.
People love the Stone Temple Pilots one, which I appreciate. I was never a big STP fan, not going to lie.
We've talked about that. I think they're...
I've appreciated them more now.
Yeah, musically they're fucking top notch, but I don't think I think people got a little.
Weiland was a great frontman.
Yeah, but I think people didn't really like him because it was so freaking crazy, and I'm like, dude, that's what you want,
dude, and you know what,
frontman to be.
And I mean he had his demons, but you know what, Velvet Revolver, they were fucking sweet too, and that just proved to me that this guy is a legit. Not that he wasn't, but it was just like he did it again.
Yeah,
like some of those songs, and actually that's when I really started my appreciation for Stone Temple Pilots more, was after Velvet Revolver. That was super. I love that band.
And then to kind of touch on that, we all think we've all seen the NPR Tiny Desks.
I've seen, yeah.
You know, and those are pretty cool. Because obviously they're at a tiny desk and they jam like 10 musicians. Wu-Tang Clan's been on there. I mean, like,
I haven't really dug into them, but I'll always see like the posts and the highlights and stuff.
They're funny.
That's super
and
funny.
Awesome.
I can't. You know what? Maybe we can do that with one of our next upcoming guests, Jason Wagner.
Oh, I would love to. Yeah.
Or even actually. Well, we're going to mention that later in the what's coming up, but we actually have, to me, and a little special announcement, upcoming in a couple of weeks. We'll get to that. So yeah, I mean, what do you feel about the playlist? Like I said, I listen to my playlist. I don't listen to the band I'm going to see. If I want to learn anything, I do that ahead of time. But you know what I've started doing? I don't fucking care. You got a new music? I'm just going to show up and hear it for the first time, like Black Crowes. Mm-hmm. They had new music. Never listened to one of those fucking songs.
Nope.
I went there and loved the hell out of every one of those songs that they played.
Right, and the new ones, too.
Because you know what? Some of the ones they played, it might have been an old one. I just don't even fucking know the song.
Speaking of, we were just talking. I heard she says she talks to angels on the way here, too. Black Crowes.
That was awesome seeing that live.
One of the best songs. I mean, it's a great song.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the playlists are great. I mean, so what happens if you hear one of the songs that the band you're going to go see? Do you skip it?
No. Nope. And I thought about that while I was driving. And you know what's funny? In all of the playlists I've done driving to a show, I've never heard the band I'm going to see, not one time.
Okay.
I guarantee September 4th, I will hear a Smashing Pumpkins song because, oh my God.
Well,
I mean, obviously I love them. I have so many other songs. Yeah, but like driving to Pixies on Tuesday or whatever, Smashing Pumpkins. Play it. Like 3 or 4 in a row. Oh, Pumpkin. So when that happens, though, because it's on the way there, now I have my pick of 4. Mm-hmm. I just pick one.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, oh, this one's on. Then the second one, nope, this one, this one. And I ended up going with Perfect, which I think is off Adore, but I don't even know. Or whatever that album, Adore. And, but there was some other one, but I also try to not pick one if it's been on a previous playlist. I mean, I don't go back and look. I just try to go from memory. Mm-hmm. So the same song could be on there 4 times in a row because my memory is that good. But it was funny,
Yours
like,
too, huh?
I don't know, stupid socials, like, in Instagram, they have these achievements or challenges. So one was, like, doing a story where you could, like, do a poll or whatever. So I posted a playlist, and I said, does everyone like the playlist? Yes or no? Simple. 2 votes. One was me. Both yeses, though.
Okay,
So I'm like, all right, well, someone likes it. We got to keep chugging along.
I was thinking you were gonna say no. Somebody didn't like it.
No, we had
I hate
2, and they
all
were
those
both
songs.
likes, but one was me. I know the other one wasn't you because you haven't been on Instagram in like ages.
Yeah. Well, I'll be back on there. I'll let my presence.
And I will immediately get 110 likes, and I'll be super excited, and every one of them is going to be nah. That's Neil Allen Williams to you people out there.
You don't even know.
Check the masthead. Oh, shit. So what else have we done in season 2? Well, you know what? We actually created a Facebook group. So I just finally got on Facebook in August. So right before we started season 2. Shit's blowing up. And I kept, I'm part of these groups, like 90s, alternative, grunge, whatever. And I'd comment and I'd post like some videos or whatever, and it's always the same shit. Alice in Chains is the best ever. And like you can't be like, well, they're good, but I like these. No, you're wrong. And it's like, dude, shut up.
Yeah.
It's like just all stupid stuff. And finally I was like, fuck it. And that's when I created the Two Dudes and Live Tunes Facebook group. And the whole point of it is just to remove all that stupid bullshit. A place where people can go, talk about going to concerts, post videos, pictures, talk about like tour announcements or upcoming shows, stuff like that. Who's going?
It's
you can
really-
kind of meet up,
It's really cool.
and then throw in the sorority jokes here every once in a while. You love Eric. He's always
Oh yeah, I love
a
it.
huge supporter. But no, I mean, we started that, I think, in January, like right after we launched season 2. And we are a handful members away or whatever from 800, and it's cool because, like I said, it almost has that live music feel to it, right? Because people are engaging and talking about it. Hey, I'm going to this. Oh, did you see this one's here? And people are figuring out, and it's cool to see too because I'm posting stuff and thinking, oh yeah, they're playing Detroit, but now we have people all over the place.
That's
all the way in Chad, Africa. I don't know if any of these shows are getting all the way to Chad. I'm guessing no, but at least across the U.S. and Canada, people are like, "Oh, I'm going to go to this one."
I'm guessing no.
Well, you never know.
That's where we need to travel to freaking Chad.
We do have actually.
And I bet you
We're going to get into it a little bit
there's a
later.
sweet venue
Kind of
there.
a breakdown of some of where the downloads are and where some hot spots and maybe some dead spots are that we want to fill in there. But
Some dead spot.
I do like that group, and the fun part is it's just not always me,
Right? No.
I post shit from when I go, but I don't bombard it with my stuff. But you start seeing other people posting or talking,
Cal.
and that's what I want. I want to drive that engagement, right?
I still haven't invited my other 100 friends on Facebook. We'll get a couple. Let's get to 1,000.
Oh, we'll get there. We're definitely
2,000.
we're actually doing
And
really
then,
good
yeah,
on
you
our
guys,
socials,
yeah.
dude.
Definitely. Two Dudes and Live Tunes on Facebook. It's freaking awesome. Like Cal just said, we get videos. Like, if you're a Swiftie, I mean, there's Taylor Swift, there's Pink, there's country, there's everything. I mean, it's
Well, that's the whole point of Two Dudes. It's like every genre.
Yeah.
And I've even opened up since we've started doing it and going to shows that I never would have. I mean, Kane Brown, that was cool. The
Right.
country show. I'll go to another country show. I never had anything against going to it. I just never. I won't say I never had a reason, but this was, hey, me and Emily and Elena and Moose were all going to go together. It was awesome being downtown. And it was fun. Some of the other ones, like Violent Femmes.
uh-huh.
I know I was going to get to that a little bit, but I went to that at Masonic Temple Theater. So I'd never been there until then. I'd been
Right.
at the Cathedral. Coolest fucking venue.
Mhm.
One, it's almost like a coliseum, like a perfect circle. with all the seats and everything. And then you have the main floor, obviously, right in the middle, right up there, but it's on a decline towards the stage. So if I'm standing back here, I can still see over people. It's not flat. It was like the coolest setup. And built for sound, you know. That was so cool seeing them. They did both.
Did they play American music?
So they did their first 2 albums in their entirety. They started, I think, with their second, then played their first.
I was wondering.
And then, American Music ain't on either one of them.
Right.
But they ended and closed it with American Music.
Did they? Okay. Yeah. I didn't even ask you about that. I was like,
yeah, they did.
What about American music?
Because that's what I thought,
You
too.
like American music? I like.
And, seeing him with his banjo out there.
Uh-huh.
I love a fucking banjo, I decided. He had a banjo. Modest Mouse had a banjo. Obviously, Mumford and Sons had a banjo until they fucking booted him out. So, yeah, I think, you mentioned get it up to 1,000. Like, I think we're at 787 for members on that. But, so YouTube, I kind of treat that as almost like the gold standard. Because you actually have to subscribe and, do some work to actually, So we're over 300. We have 304 subscribers to the channel now, which when I look and compare it against others, I'm like, wow, we're actually above average from the time we started. And we are about less than 100 views away from 93,000 total views on the YouTube channel.
Wow.
So that is all the podcast episodes, but also, the 200 to 300 videos that we've now posted from shows we've gone to and stuff. Which I always try to drive everyone to YouTube. Because, you can see the shows. I think you can actually just listen to them through YouTube if you don't want to watch it. But then you get all those videos, there's more there than you're going to find on Live Tunes or even,
right.
Our Facebook page or LinkedIn. Dude, LinkedIn, we're at almost 700 followers to our company page. Our Facebook page is right at 800. So, we're gaining that organic following, which is what I wanted to do.
Yep.
Just kind of grassroots.
Yeah, I know. That's
we're not good right from the start, so as you're getting better, you hope you grow a little bit, and we have. We've grown. I'm super excited. I always told you and everyone that will listen to me, so probably thousands of people. Not actually on the show, just from me running into them. But no, I couldn't be happier, with how it's gone. And I know talking with you, you feel the same way.
Absolutely, bro.
But the best part, and I think we've really started hitting our stride in season 2 is the guests. Even season 1. It's always about the guests, reconnecting with people. But when I think about this season, obviously the first one I'm going to mention is, one of the OGs, Keith.
Mm-hmm.
Keith O'Connor. That was awesome having him on.
Yeah, he was maybe not, but he was there when we were doing the actual
part 2, I think it was. Yeah, Keith doesn't remember. I know we talked about it a little bit on the show, but he was definitely there when we created 2 Dudes Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
No involvement to where it needed to be 3 dudes.
No,
let's not get mixed up there.
No.
Keith was an observer, more sitting on the couch at about 3:30 in the morning.
And then saying, yeah, that's a cool tune.
And just enjoying it. But no, that was awesome having him on and catching up and everything. And actually, this is really probably my favorite part is after having people on this show, then going to concerts with them.
Yeah.
And me and Keith have already got one. We're going to see Billy Bragg in October at the Majestic.
Oh, yeah.
So Billy Bragg and Wilco, obviously they got the 3 volumes of the old Woody Guthrie. And actually...
I'm probably going to go to that, too.
Yeah. It's Majestic, so it's all same. There's no fancy seats. They do have this new crane level, which is double the cost, and it looks like they just built almost like this mezzanine where you can go up and see it kind of which is really cool when you think about the Majestic. Kind of having a little bird's eye view in such a small place, but they've already sold out.
Oh, is it?
Seems like a pretty cool thing. So I'm like, and I got on the pre-sale, and I was like, oh, those are already gone. But it was only $50. Not even.
Is it sold out?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, but that's part of the fun is like reconnecting, but then going to a show. I mean, Maxie was the first one I really did that with. We ended up going to Ben Harper last October.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, Billy Bragg is the exact same date, October 10th, that me and Maxie went to Ben Harper.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, pretty funny. Who else did we have on? We had Justin Dunkel.
Yep.
And that was someone I haven't seen in 30 years. I don't know if you ever even met him before. Nope. Because we weren't buddies. That was before I was even in college. And me and him are going to go to Royal Oak September 10th for Peter Hook and the Light.
Yeah, I saw that guy.
So Peter Hook was original founding member of Joy Division and New Order. His son is Jack Bates, who plays bass for Smashing Pumpkins.
Gotcha.
When he's not playing with the Pumpkins, he actually plays with Peter Hook and the Light. So him and his dad are both playing bass at the same time.
Cool.
So it's going to be interesting to see what they do, because Jack Bates is on tour with the Pumpkins. We're going to see them about a week before at Comerica when they were with Green Day. So, but yeah, that's another one. Justin, that was awesome seeing him. And actually, I think we're going to probably see him in a couple weeks again. Eric Serrati, having him on. I mean, 93. Like, probably saw maybe graduation night. I haven't seen that guy. And, but no, it's awesome because now we reconnected.
Yes,
and I mean, whenever we got new members to the Live Tunes group, he's always like, welcome to the group, or thanks for joining, or us. It's always the us, which I like. That's what I want with that group. We had D-Ho.
Mm-hmm.
Lori and Brian Stratton. That was cool having them on. I would say more of a polished guest. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Lori obviously is knee deep into the music scene, especially local. Ann Arbor had her Stratton set list going for like a decade now.
Yes.
And to be honest, I was probably a little, probably more nervous for that one, I think, because I know she's been on numerous podcasts. And but that was fun having them on. And actually, you guys left your shirts, so if you're listening, Lori and Brian Stratton, you know where we're at. Just come pick those shirts up.
Come pick those shirts up.
Paul Grasso, he's the one that kicked it off. And to me, he was like the epitome of a two dudes guest.
Yes.
No idea who you are. Mm-hmm. Knew his brother from 30 years ago. Ran into him randomly at Ben Harper because Tom Grasso was there.
Loves concerts,
but definitely more than me. Loves disc golf, which we didn't even talk about, which I was so disappointed about.
Loves disc golf.
And then actually ran into him at Liz Fair. I was by myself, and we met, and that's where we hammered out that he was going to be our first guest of season 2. And that's the other thing, is we've kind of branched out. Like, I would say season 1 was like our comfort zone, minus Black Note Graffiti and Andrew Wynn from Agents of Good Roots. But other than that, I mean, it was...
I think that, yes, when you say that comfort zone, but I mean, we were kind of...
Oh, we had to feel it out.
Yeah.
Because we weren't comfortable at all.
No, not at all. And we might look uncomfortable right now, but F off. But you know what I mean.
No, absolutely.
I love how you say it, like, before you start, you're like, I'm fucking nervous. And I'm like,
all right.
And I'm not nervous because obviously I don't speak much, but I mean, I'm just feeding off you, and then you just keep talking.
No,
but,
it's a good nervousness, just like I would get before games.
Like anxious. More of anxious.
Anxious nerves, yeah. But not anxiety.
No, not at all.
It's just like...
no. Especially when we're going...
So you got to step up. And if I wasn't such a kick-ass fucking goalie back in the day, I don't know if I'd be able to step up and do this. But I used to have to step up, fucking deliver, and that's what I do.
It's kind of funny. Like, I think, like, before, like, we're soccer players, but before games, I never really got nervous or anxious or anxiety. I never did. But, like, moments in games, I think you would get nervous.
Yeah,
especially, like, you as a goalkeeper, I'm sure you were nervous,
and I would
going into like a PK shootout. But I wasn't like nervous.
Yeah, no, I get that. And for me, a lot of times it was thinking, trying to like almost prepare mentally for the game and be like focused on it, like night before, day of, like, and it was a feeling. I'll call it nerves, but it was it was more than
Yeah, I don't think you were really
and
nervous. Yeah,
part of it
I think
too.
that's probably
You didn't experience it. Maybe other goalies don't, but I think part of it was because I'm the goalie.
Yeah, you're the last.
Yeah, I mean that's why we're fucking
Stop.
weird, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're it, and no matter what, you think you can save every fucking shot. I could have done something different. I could have saved every single shot ever known to man. And you'll sit and think about why didn't I save that?
Right.
Why didn't I save that
I
4
know.
games ago?
The European Championships are on right now, and there's been some
Questionable goalkeeper.
yes, and it sucks because they would save that 99 times out of 100, and then that one fucking time where you maybe overthought it or didn't think enough, and then it went under your fucking fingers, and it's like,
Oh, kind of like when I got nutmegged against Loyola on an easy shot our senior year.
bro,
Opening game of the tournament.
Yeah,
Thank God Geese scored.
Mhm.
Like, blew his ankle out and scored a goal to advance us.
It's just
And that's the beauty of the team. I fucked up.
right.
People picked me up, and then you know what? We just would do that, and that was the beauty of that team. It was something special back then. It really was.
And
That was
just-
a special group of players.
And team in general, like you're not one without the team, or whatever the saying is. Like you're all. That's the thing, but you do play your own head games.
Absolutely.
I should have been better. Oh my god.
And the other thing, as we dug into some of our guests, we started having some repeat guests. Starting with, I think it was episode 2, where John Shack became the first 2-time guest ever.
Mm-hmm.
And he was on with his son Nathan, which was super cool because we've been to at least 2 shows with both of them now since they were on. Sasanta being one of them.
And Pumpkin.
And Porno for Pyros.
Oh, poor Robert. Yeah.
Which, God damn, that was
Nathan
so...
wasn't there.
Oh, my God. So, Jane's Addiction.
Oh yeah.
They're coming to Meadowbrook. And
How much are the tickets?
I don't know, but I can't go. I'm going to be out of town. So I'm hoping something comes to fruition, but I will not be going to the Michigan show of Jane's Addiction, which it's okay. It's okay. Although I'd love to see it. I would encourage you. I got to imagine you could probably get lawn for $100.
Where is it at? Pine Knob?
Meadowbrook.
Meadowbrook.
Even better.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yep. So,
Quick upcoming show, and I always say it almost every episode, is the National. If you're not a fan, go after yourself. But
it's like September 25th or something.
and they're playing at Michigan Amphitheater or Lottery, whatever it's goddamn called.
And I can't go to that one because I'm out of town. The time of that week, there was like so many shows, and that national one, they were selling $25 lawn tickets.
They were. I
don't think they are anymore.
Because that.
But okay, so sorry to cut you off.
I can't. No, you're good. Go.
Because I just saw this. So one of the shows I went to after we went to Santa was Neil Young Crazy Horse, which that was like a last second thing. Always loved Neil Young. First time in 10 years of Crazy Horse. He's 78. This ain't happening again. I'm sorry. If it does, great. I'll probably go again.
Right.
But anyway, it was really good. But the thing was, I ended up talking to some people in the parking lot, because that's what I do when I go solo now. And I was like, I got it pretty last second, a week ago, but I had to come. I mean, I ended up paying like $75 for a lawn ticket or something. They're like, we paid $9. I'm like, are you shitting me? They showed up before they ever even had tickets, sat in the parking lot, and then go on those sites where finally, like right before, the hour before the show, people unload them, and they bought 4 tickets for literally like $50.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I could never be that loosey-goosey.
Well, and I could never be the person that's buying those tickets then losing money.
Right.
I'm sure they probably bet. Or
they probably sold 10 others.
Of course. Fuck, these are 9.
Yep.
Whatever.
Better pennies on the dollar than nothing.
Right, yeah, that's it.
But yeah, so that's always a potential option. And then the other thing I know I talked about before with John is, when you have a shit ticket, you can go to the box office like right before it starts.
Right,
and you can either upgrade, and sometimes they might be like, here you go, because they want to just make sure the up fronts. And they got those random singles. That's why I got a sweet seat for the Pixies. I mean, the fucking front row, I mean, it was, midway up or whatever, but it was still like that front row, so you didn't got to deal with anything. It was awesome. Yeah. So back to what did you think about Sasanta? That was, I think, the last one we went to together.
Sasanta, I mean, of course, had a great time, right? Did the podcast. I thought it was, and obviously this is what everybody's going to say, but I loved that they had all three bands out there, like,
great.
We'll play this song, you play, and then of course there's some combination of everything, but thought it was great.
I thought there's some concerts you go to man, that was an awesome show. And then there's some concerts you go to and it's like, that was an experience. For me, that was an experience. For like you just said, it had, all three drum kits were on the same riser. And I loved it because you had, I think it was Perfect Circle started, and they played acts. So each Perfect Circle, Pussifer, and Primus, and it actually went Perfect Circle, Primus, Pussifer. They did like 3 acts, like 3-4 songs each. And then by the end, they were interchange. There was 2 drummers playing the Primus, and by the end, they're like all up there, and Les Claypool's got his pig mask on and everything.
As far as making a video or
oh, my videos are rough, but I got them.
Yeah.
But they played, I want to say it was 30 or 31 songs all combined, and I think I walked out with like 16 or 17 videos. I finally got caught at the very end.
I'm sure.
There was the big dude, man. That guy, he was running up and down, and I knew I'm not supposed to record, so what do? I talk to the fucking guy. Treat him like a human. I'm like, man, they really got you working the night. He's like, oh, yeah. And like, I would watch him. So I'd talk to him. And if he ran up this way behind me, I'm not going to record because he can see me. But he'd run up past me, and he's the main guy. As soon as he went that way, I had my sunglasses here. I had my phone right up against here. And I held my beer like this. And like, all you see is like people's heads and stuff. Yeah. But you know what? I was going to type a big post. And I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm going to say it right now. Like, the videos that I do, and I know people, get off your phone, enjoy the moment. Listen here, bitch. I do enjoy the moment.
Right.
The videos I take, and I did do a couple of live shots. I didn't like it. It's not my job to bring you to the concert. What I'm doing is taking small fragments of songs.
Right.
So that you can be exposed to the music, so that maybe you're like, oh, man, I've never really thought to listen to these guys, and now you're listening to them.
Right.
Or now you're like, oh my god, I can't wait to go see these. That's what I'm trying to do with this. So if the videos look like shit, they sound like shit, you know what? My job ain't to be, oh my god, look at this super highly edited, beautiful video. It's like I'm there. That's not my point. You know why? Because you need to be in that moment.
Yes.
And I might record 30 seconds to a minute of this song, but you know what? Those next 5 minutes, I'm fucking loving my life.
Right.
And I'm going to show. When I take a video, first of all, I'm usually about here. So I can see, but I'm never outside my body. I'm not this guy. I'm not this guy. I'm not affecting anyone behind me, so piss off. Let me enjoy my show, how I'm going to enjoy it. Actually, I'm also working.
Right. I'm this guy.
Yeah, you are, but you do it like once a show.
5 foot freaking nothing.
But you do it like once or twice a show.
Everybody can see over my freaking little skinny hands and everything.
Shut up.
Get up.
But anyway, that's the whole point of the videos, is just to expose people, and actually I'll go back to Cerati. I mentioned him a few times. He's like, that dude, all metal, all the time, never strays really. He knows what he likes. But he's like, man, I'm actually kind of listening to stuff I never would have imagined, you know, and that's the whole point. Right. There's so much more stuff out there.
I still can't get into country though. I've been to a couple country concerts. Don't get me wrong.
I really can't get into it either. I get it. It's like,
I know country fans. You're great.
It's like NASCAR. It's like a fine wine.
Right. But get out of here.
No, well, and it's tough. I mean, like, it's tough to like and go to everything. Fuck. But no, I think Sasanta, that was something that was super cool. And actually, so that the guy that was working, I show up and like I said, one of the ones I went to since then was Neil Young. So I ended up I went by myself, but I met up with Tom Grosso, which is Paul's brother.
Right.
Tom I played soccer with. And actually, I wanted to kind of do a correction. Remember we were talking to Dunkel?
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, you were like the first guy like from Lansing driving. But before Dunkel ever went from like to Var, those dudes were driving from Flint to Livonia to play for the Wolves. So they were like one of those first guys too. Like, oh my God, how are you driving that far? Not like anything under an hour.
Yeah.
Nothing, right? But back then I was like, holy shit, these guys are all the way from Grand Blanc. But anyway, I ran into Tom and his buddy Andy ahead of time. Had a couple beers with them and a couple of randos. They were really good friends with Andy from it, I guess. They weren't.
They weren't.
And then I ran into Jake Jekyll and his buddy. You remember Jake, right?
Yeah.
Up on the lawn. Hung out with them for a while. And somehow ended up with Jake's blanket. Jake, I still got it.
Yep.
We'll make sure we get it back to you when you're on the show.
Yep. That's the only way you're getting your.
But anyway, so I first
back.
walk in. Of course, I'm bullshitting in the parking lot. But I'm walking, on the concourse, trying to figure out. And, of course, you stand right behind the rail to the pavilion. I'm trying to take a video. Who is it? That same dude from DeSanto. So I'm like, hey, man. He's like, I caught you. At the very end, he caught me. It was funny, though.
I caught you.
I'll look for him every time.
That's a dude that freaking really takes his job seriously. Fuck.
Well, dude,
we need more people at that.
I will say at that show, they were watching like hawks, dude. Like Maynard is super like.
Dude, I was doing the same thing that you're doing, and my videos were, of course, back some people. I mean, there was music, but
every single one of mine was upside down. I don't even know how that's possible. Like, doesn't your phone correct?
That's technology, bro.
So I had to hit that twice. And then obviously we talked a little bit the Violent Femmes I went to, and then just a couple days ago that Modest Mouse and Pixie show. I mean,
Ready, right?
Yeah, it was really cool shows and like bands that I would say like back in my heyday, I would have never gone to. Like, and have you watched by chance the Lollapalooza documentary?
No, I haven't.
So it's 3 episodes. It's totally cool. I wish I would have dug a little deeper, but what I found out. So obviously the very first Lollapalooza was like the going away party for Jane's Addiction. They were like done. They ran their course, right? And they were supposed to. It was something like they were supposed to play like the Reading Festival. And that was like their first exposure, like this all-day festival.
Right.
And just so for their going away party, they were like, "That's what we want to do." So then, like, the 4 band members and whoever else was put together, they all picked a band that they wanted to play at it. So Rollins Band, Susie and the Banshees, blah, 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 blah. And one of the only one that they invited or whatever that said no was Pixies. And it wasn't until something like 2005 or something they finally played Lollapalooza, Chicago.
No kidding.
Yep. Which I thought was kind of weird and funny and
strange,
and of course timely, because one of the things I wanted to talk about is upcoming shows. And as you can see, I've neatly highlighted, color coordinated everything. But I have about 10, 11 shows listed here. First one, I don't have anything planned from now until August 1st through the 4th, which is Lollapalooza. Me and Emily are going. First time I'm going to Chicago. It's the 20th anniversary of Chicago.
Okay.
That they've been there. Yeah. I haven't been to a Lollapalooza since '95 when it was Cypress Hill. I think maybe Sonic Youth was the headliner. To me, that was when it kind of started, and you'll see that in the documentary as well.
Yeah.
It kind of lost its way, but it's like, how do you keep up with the times but stay true? And it's good. I just wish, like I said, I would have dug a little deeper. Like, I could have done 2 more episodes of just seeing footage of some of the shows. You know what I mean? Like, there wasn't a lot of the concert footage. There was some, but mainly around, like, the first Lollapalooza. Like, I would have loved to see just more, Beastie Boys or, like, some of the killer tunes. But no, so me and Emily are going to that. Which is going to be an experience. And actually, Tyler, the Creator, just dropped out. He was a headliner for night one, and actually Megan Thee Stallion is going to be filling in, which would be cool. But I'm starting to put together, my must-see list.
Right.
Which obviously headliners, it's Hozier, Killers, and Blink-182. Saturday, it's not, I forget who it is. I think it's SZA, which again is cool. I know she's super big, and I forget who else. But they're also doing, again, no idea what the name, but one of the most famous DJs that's out there is like doing the late night Saturday,
Right.
which I'm sure I'll be sleeping for. But no, some of the undercards, definitely I want to see Kesha. Me and Naomi went. We saw her open up for Rihanna. Me, Emily, Elena, and Jackie years ago. But that'll be fun. Blonde Shell's gonna be there, so I want to go and see her. Saw her open up for Liz Phair. Cannons.
Heard.
That song Fire or whatever. It's just I only know the one song. I love that fucking song. They're gonna be on a smaller stage. I'm absolutely. Deftones are playing. I want to see them. I've never been a fan, but people love them.
But no,
and it's seeing them live.
We're talking about. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I bet you they're freaking.
But the biggest thing for me,
they do jam.
I've said this before, the only reason I even wanted to buy Lollapalooza tickets, right before I bought them, they went on sale. They announced that Jane's Addiction, original 4 members back together, making new music since Ritual. I'm like, we're going to play Lollapalooza. It's the 20th anniversary of Lollapalooza. It's Perry's thing. It's Jane's Addiction back together. Then they announced this whole tour. The tour, the North American tour for Jane's Addiction starts August 11th. The August 3rd date of Lollapalooza on Perry's stage, he has his own stage out of the 7 or whatever, all question marks. It's got to be them. It's got to be, right? Yeah. How can it not be? A week before their tour starts, they'll be done in Europe for a time leading up.
I think.
If not, it's got to be something cool.
I think we can fill in the blanks there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. It's going to be crazy. I've never experienced any sort of more than a day-long festival.
Mm-hmm.
Horde Fest, Lollapalooza back when they were touring. That's it.
Yeah.
Avett Brothers going to Masonic with John Doring, another former guest.
They're a good band.
Uh-huh.
I've seen them.
No, yeah, we've seen. Yeah, I know you've seen. You went to Grand Rapids, didn't you? Yeah.
Freaking badass band.
And then, so this is all August. That was August 1st through 4th, Lollapalooza. August 21st, Avett Brothers. August 23rd, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard at Urethra Franklin. I'm going to that one with Kennedy, another former guest.
Lizard Wizard. I don't think I've heard of them.
So they're out of Australia, and they're just a super, like a jam band, and just very musical. Just.
Oh, speaking of kind of a jam band,
mm-hmm.
Fish just came out with a new album.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
And they're coming to Grand Rapids. They're doing 2 back-to-back shows.
Yeah.
During a Tuesday, Wednesday.
What was it? Evolve? I think the album is called Evolve or Evoke. But I just heard it on the radio.
Nice.
A couple days ago. Yeah, go ahead.
So no, that's cool. I didn't even know they came out.
Yeah, they have a new album. I'm like, what? Fish?
I've only seen them the one time. I mean, jam bands aren't for everyone.
I can guarantee you, the Palace with John Shack actually.
Okay, that's right. I remember. I
never
realized
patchouli and marijuana. I mean, it was fine.
I saw him at Riverbend in Cincy by myself, and it was. I just remember it was fucking pouring rain. Kind of a miserable night, but it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, jam bands aren't everyone's thing. But King Gizzard, they're out of Australia, super a lot of music going on. But the show we're going to is one of 2 acoustic sets out of their whole tour, out of 50 shows. So that should be pretty cool. Just
at the Urethra Franklin.
At the Urethra.
Former Shane Park.
It used to be Shane Park, yeah. But now it's called the Urethra Franklin Amphitheater in Detroit. She's the queen.
Mm-hmm.
And then, actually, the next one I have highlighted black because we're going, Neil. So 21st of August, 23rd of August, now the 26th of August on a Monday, we're going to Indy. Me, you, John, and Jesse. So that's going to be John's third time on the show when we do our tailgate in a different state at a Pearl Jam show.
Yeah.
We got Chris Malashevsky lined up.
We're going to be inside you, Indiana.
Yeah! For those of you that don't know Chris or have ever heard of him, he's a super cool dude. Great, fucking very interesting story behind him and how we met. So we're supposed to meet up with him in Indy during our tailgate show. Haven't seen Pearl Jam in 20-some years. I'm super excited about that. That was a postponement, debacle of tickets. Neil,
I tell you what.
On my phone, I have access to all 4 tickets finally. I've been battling this shit for over a year and a half almost, trying to get all my tickets. I have all 4.
Cool.
So we should all be able to get in, no problem. If not,
get in.
If not, we're going to have to do like rock, paper, scissors to see who actually gets in there.
We're going to get in you, Indiana.
And then following up about a week later, I have Green Day and Smashing Pumpkins at Comerica. Going to that with Kennedy and Avery, more former guests. But you're coming, whether you go to the show or not. You're coming downtown. We're going to do a tailgate for Pumpkins again and Green Day. That's fine. And actually, looking at the next one with Dunkel going to Peter Hook. Mm-hmm. I was talking to him about that Comerica one, and he's like, man, I want to be back on or whatever. I'm like, well, actually, we're going to do a tailgate at Green Day and Pumpkins at Comerica. He's like, I'm coming. I won't even go to the show. He goes, I'll just stand outside and listen to it. And I said, okay, Doughboy.
Yeah. Me, Dunkel, and Doughboy.
Yeah, you guys can just hang out and listen.
I'll just hang outside and listen.
But yeah, my August and fucking September. So yeah, Peter Hook and Light on the 10th. We talked about that. Then I'm going to be out of town. But this one I'm super excited about. September 28th at the Masonic Cathedral, going solo to PJ Harvey. And like, I even signed up for her fan club just so I could get the pre-order tickets. Dude, I got the best fucking seat ever. Row A, seat 1, in the balcony that almost, like, pretty much overlooks the stage. And, I'm posting, yeah, I got one, and then, like, tickets go on sale Friday. People, like, not even a single ticket. Literally, like, everything's sold out pre-sale pretty much. It's nuts. But she hasn't been around in forever.
I know.
And it's, like, a small tour. She's only doing, like, 14 cities or something.
It's going to not sound bad, but I think she's really good looking. And then people are like, she's not very good looking. I think she's fine.
I think she is too, Neil, and I could see why people might say that about her because it kind of
looks. But I don't mean to bring that up. But I mean, she's
a beautiful girl.
She's fine.
Woman, I should say, has been an icon in music for 30 years, like
long time.
You could say part of the '90s British invasion, right? And to me, it says a lot that is such a hot ticket.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, she's still doing it. She doesn't tour a ton, so I'm super excited. That's actually the one I'm looking forward to a lot. Now, this one we're going to, well, you are, whether you got a ticket yet or not, but you're going to, is Billy Strings.
Billy Strings, yeah.
I'm going to October 5th, the Saturday show, because he's doing the 4th and the 5th at Pine Knob. Never seen him. Obviously, your sister Lindsay, and then Jeff.
Finally, a show that is playing on a Friday or Saturday.
Right. Oh my God. No shit. Neil Young was
we talk about it all the time.
Neil Young was a Tuesday. Pixies was a Tuesday. Actually, Violent Femmes was a Saturday.
Yeah, that was.
That was
one that
what?
I was gonna.
Wait, what? But no, like, and then looking at this, Avett Brothers, I want to say that's a Tuesday or Wednesday,
right?
Or Tuesday. Wednesday. King Gizzard's a Friday. At Urethra.
In the end, I think it's cool because then it may, people in the summer, we're not doing much, and then all right, it's a Tuesday night, let's go. Yeah, I get it. But
we might be bookending Pine Knob this year. We're at the very first opening show of Pine Knob. On October 5th. That could be the last one for the season.
We'll see.
That could be fucking chilly, especially at night. And then I mentioned this one, October 10th at the Majestic, with Billy Bragg with Keith. We're going to go to that one. You should totally get in on that. Psychedelic Furs the very next night with Jesus and Mary Chain, which I hadn't seen Jesus and Mary Chain since Lollapalooza, 92. And I kind of saw him. So I'm excited about that. And actually, one I forgot to write down is me and John Doring and his buddy Darren Harvey are going to see Cold War Kids November 7th at Majestic.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And, I don't know a ton about them. I've got some of their songs on my playlist. I like them a lot, but I thought they were bigger. Like that they're actually doing a tour and playing the Majestic. But what I found talking with John more is like they've been more of an opener for like some bigger acts.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I love the Majestic. So seeing shows there a couple times this season is going to be sweet. Anything you got your eye on that you don't have lined up yet?
No, sorry,
I don't. Not that KRS-One show in Lansing.
I would if I lived in... Okay, Cold War Kids. I know Cold War Kids.
Yeah, you
know.
know.
Good. No, I mean...
That's another one, dude, you should look at. Cold War Kids, Majestic. Such a cool place.
Instead of, like, their major, like, not major, but radio play songs, Cold War Kids, they have some really good... I've actually delved into them a couple times. I'm like, oh, my God.
Well, John's been following them, like, forever.
Yeah, this song is amazing. Okay.
All
right.
So what do we expect in the second half of season 2, Neil? Well, I wrote down a couple fucking things.
Well, let's see.
We talked about a couple more Tailgate episodes. Pearl Jam and Indy. That one's going to be fun. I already talked to John. We need to leave about noon that day. Hopefully get there about 4:30ish or so. Get set up. I can't wait for that show. I'm expecting something spectacular. It's been a year postponed. It's only one show in Indy, so like you don't have to worry about them splitting set lists.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they're doing back-to-back in a city.
I'm super excited too, Cal.
That'll be cool. That's going to be super cool. I'm glad it's me, you, John, and Jesse. I think it's a good group going as well. And plus, we're going to meet up, like I said, with Chris Malashevsky. And also, hopefully, Chris Rourke, an old work buddy that now lives in the area. He actually has... Erin Powers, right, who was on the show, she's got, like, that season pass to Blossom or whatever. It's like the Pine Knob of Cleveland.
Right.
Like, $200, she gets a lawn ticket for every show this summer. And then Chris Rourke, he has the same thing to that Ruoff, or whatever it is, which used to be called, I think, like Deer Creek, and he still calls it Deer Creek. Like, we used to always call it Pine Knob. Mm-hmm. But he's got a season pass there, so he'll be there as well. So hopefully we'll be able to connect with him. The one thing I'm super excited about, actually, 2 weeks from today, and I did triple confirm yesterday, it's still on, is we have a very special guest all the way from Austin, Texas, Giovanni Gentili. Mm-hmm. We got him scheduled to be on July 6th. Obviously, we'll release that at a later date. But, man, I'm super excited to get Gio here.
Yeah.
He's someone that we've known.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was an original 72 Vardar guy, right? So you always looked up to him as a soccer player. He went to Churchill. He's the same age as Paul, so they were real good friends. Then played with him on our Marauders men's team for years and just really got to know him. But, of course, lost touch over the last 15-plus years. And hell, I thought he still lived in Michigan. And I talked to him. He was like, I'm in Austin, Texas. I'm like, what the fuck?
Does he still live off West Chicago?
No, he was right off of it was 5 Mile. But not at the turkey farm, but, they're not far from there. So they're right there by West Chicago.
And he's a rock star, too. He's
actually...
He's a
cool
star,
story. He
plays in a band. So
in college, picked up a guitar, and then was in a band. I mean, we used to go see him all the time. It was a lot of fun. So it's gonna be awesome catching up with him. We have actually a local artist from the Flint, Michigan area, Jason Wagner. Excited to have him on. And to be honest, some random guy that we just ended up seeing on Facebook, and he's local, and we've kind of been going back and forth.
Jason
Wagner,
Waggoner, Waggoner.
Double G.
Look him up, look him up.
And he's got a new single out,
with
video and everything. And actually, the first time I really saw him play was in a video. He was doing a cover of "Hey Jealousy" by the Gin Blossoms.
That's my first band I've seen.
You know,
live.
As I'll say, you can never judge a book by a cover. He's bald, big beard, but then seeing him like pull out the "Hey Jealousy" and like that voice, I was like, wow, that's really good. So we're gonna have him on in August, along with my brother-in-law Desmond Eatman. We're gonna have them do back-to-back episodes, and tell you what, I mean, at this rate, we could keep going. You know, we got people lined up. Right. People wanting to be on. It's super exciting, you know, to see people get excited. And the best part is seeing them right after we're done. And everyone, you know, you get that after a big win. Like, you had that euphoria. You're like, oh, my God, that was so much fun. You know, I'd love to do it again. You get that adrenaline rush. And
the endorphins.
Absolutely. So a lot of cool stuff coming up. I mean, Neil, again, I can't thank you enough for being co-host. You know, we talked about it from day one.
Can't thank you enough, bro.
Wouldn't want to do this with anyone else.
I'll cut you off, but we did.
We did say Lager for the Lakes. What do you think?
I'm gonna be the official taste tester. I think I've had this before. Again, beer, you know, it's all subjective. We get it. You don't like.
It's just American. It's an American lager. It's American lager. It's all dented the shit in the bottom too, bro. I hope we don't get botulism. So if you throw up tomorrow, it's either going to be food poisoning, alcohol poisoning, or botulism. You have to rule them out as soon as possible.
It's all right.
No, it's a fine beer, but it's like when I want a Bell's, like I want to have that strong, punchy in the nose.
It's a lager,
flavor.
so it's going to have that.
A little bit.
Again, not a connoisseur beer or a person that can say, "Oh, this tastes like that. This tastes like tires."
And don't get me wrong, I'm the furthest thing from a beer snob. I mean, we cut our teeth on fucking Rainier.
It's a lager.
Meisterbrow, Milwaukee's Best, Natty Ice,
Natural Light, Ice.
You know, Molson Ice, dude, to get you fucked up quicker, bro. Just ask Harold, freshman year, dude. He had one of them was fucking tanked.
Well, tell me you didn't drink Mickey's and Steel Reserve and Old English.
I did drink Mickey's, and I used to get the 64s.
Yeah.
Well, it was either the 64s or little barrels. You know,
little barrels.
All right, and then finally, we talked about our socials. You know, we're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Threads. We do it all. But what I want to focus on right now is our downloads on the streaming services, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. There's more out there that I don't even fucking remember, but whatever. Anyway, we have 5 continents covered of downloads. We have 2 that are missing, Antarctica and South America. So my question is, who's going to be the first? I challenge you, Antarctica, to beat South America.
Yes.
And South America, I challenge you to, what the fuck? Where have you been for the last year and a half?
Whatever, Argentina.
Ooh, we're too focused on football, Copa America. Well, you know soccer. What? You know who's going to win that?
I love Messi.
Probably you, Argentina, because the U.S. sucks. But you know what? I'm so pissed off because this is segue into soccer. So we're not done yet.
Are you teed off that Poland sucks?
I'm pissed off about that, too. I just want them to like advance in the tournament.
They can never. I was just talking to your brother about this.
Fuck.
They can always make the World Cup and the Euros, but then they always just fucking blow.
They don't even tie a game.
No, they just lose. Go ahead. Sorry.
Fuck. So the U.S. they played who the other night? And Colombia, and just looked like shit. And
yes, they lost 5-1. I think yes. Greg
Berhalter is the worst fucking coach. And he wasn't under contract. They went like 6 months with an interim or whatever. And then they re-signed this long contract. When he wasn't under contract, I remember saying, why in the fuck are we not going to get Jesse Marsh? The guy's like coaching in the EPL or Bundesliga or whatever. He's an American. He played at Princeton. He obviously is probably pretty good. and knows the international game, or he wouldn't be coaching there. Someone's like, he ain't that good, and he would never come. Okay, but did you try? So then,
I don't
fast
think they did.
forward
I don't
to
know, though.
Copa 24, and I'm watching Argentina against Canada. I mean, Canada's pretty much competing. Argentina got a
Jesse
late
Marsh is the
and he's the fucking head coach.
Yeah, Jesse Marsh is the coach of Canada.
July 21st, 24, I'm saying it now. If it isn't by the 26th World Cup, by the 30, Canada will be better than the United States.
Canada's
at the
good.
way that they're going right
Canada's
now.
actually...
Canada's been improving in the last 2-3 years anyway. Probably longer,
good.
but that's when I've
Yes.
started noticing.
They're
We
good.
don't just beat them anymore.
No, they
And
beat
we
us.
beat us,
They beat
or
you.
it's a
Yes.
tight game, or it's a tie, and they're
Yes.
playing other people tough. Now you get in the fact of actually a legit coach. Bert Halter. Seriously? Whatever. The fuck. Anyway, Antarctica, I challenge you
Yes.
right now.
Fuck you, Anarchy.
All right.
Not
Peace.
fuck you, but...
Neil,
All right.
like I said, thanks for being the co-host. Wouldn't want to do it with anyone else. Actually, I think this has been pretty fun doing this little recap and what's coming up. Like I said before, we would be talking every other episode because we didn't have guests, but this time we actually had to carve out a little bit of time and make it happen. So just want to say to everyone, thanks for everything so far. Thanks for supporting us. Every download, like, share, comment, everything helps us. Keep doing more of that, not less, and hopefully we'll keep delivering content that makes you want to do that. So,
Right.
Peace. We will see you on the other one.
Later, bros.